Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here. And this one's going to be pretty extensive because in 2020 we've discovered the fifth state of matter, quantum matter. Now, is this the dark matter of the universe, some completely different? Have we really just discovered it? What are the implications of this? How was it discovered? What are they doing studies on? And why do I have Google and NASA in the background of what is a functional, I guess you could say, pseudo quantum computer, one of the ones produced by D-Wave? Well, it's all very complex, right? Because I'm not a quantum physicist. I'm probably not going to be able to expound upon exactly not only what quantum computing is, but why it's important and why it leads to what these people believe will be artificial intelligence control of an automation nation here at home and really abroad with their social credit score in place. I know it's a lot, and we're even going to get into the multiverse, all of it, guys, and why it's important to today's argument that somehow the White House and this administration is going to take on big tech and censorship when they too are part of this media, military, industrial complex based in Google and NASA. We're going to show you all this stuff right now. But first, I want to let you know I am fully demonetized on this platform. At the same time that we're going to talk about Google, #1 search engine, huge operating system on phones. Oh yeah, and then YouTube, this platform, is the second largest search engine and competes with television. However, can't make a living here pointing that out. And again, how they're never going to be able to be taken on because of what we're going to point out here and how they've been working with the government now for well over a decade to bring in artificial intelligence control of not only the people, but global spectrum dominance. So aside from thumbing this video up, making sure you're subscribed, hitting those notifications, $5, $10, $15, it means the world to me. And do remember that after this, you can check out all of my documentary films, Loose Change, Final Cut, Fabled Enemies, Invisible Empire, A New World Order to Find, and especially Shade the Motion Picture right now for free. All right, let's get into it. So this one's from earlier in the week. And they say for the first time in space, the ISS, they have discovered what they say is the fifth state of matter. Although they kind of later on say that, well, no, we were trying to study this and we were trying to get the same effect with highly elevated drops in planes and then even through balloons that they would send up into the sky. Now, what exactly are they observing? Okay, so let's get to potassium, right? There we go. So by using this rubidium, which is a type of, soft metal, at the ISS where they have temperatures of close to zero, they're able for a longer period of time to observe quantum material. Now, what is quantum material? Man, that is going to be hard for me to describe. You see, when things are in a quantum state, when they describe them, for instance, in quantum computing, right? Instead of an on-off switch or a 1-0 binary code, they can be both of those things at the same time. And then later on, even be entangled into this third thing, which some people interpret not only as information and energy, but what? The multiverse. That's right, the multiverse. That we can go beyond atoms and that we can, when we start getting into the fabric of reality, it splits off into something that we cannot explain as entangled in another way, a type of energy, if you will. They talk about it possibly being dark matter. They talk about magnetic fields and how they've played with those before. It's a really interesting article, okay, because, hey, I'm pro-science. And like I said, they were doing free fall tests, rockets, apparatuses dropped from various sites, et cetera, for these BECs, all right? And basically, they're calling those the Bose-Einstein condensates because they had predicted them almost 100 years earlier that these existed in quantum matter. All right. Now, let's fast forward from, not 100 years ago in quantum theory to what is actually going on with Google and NASA and trying to achieve quantum supremacy even today. Now, even in October, it's kind of dated. Now, we can get into quantum annealing, true quantum computing, all that stuff. But what does this promise according to them? They say this is going to bring in not only artificial intelligence, but vast amounts of encryption breaking. All right? So this could take that track trace database society they've already been building and take it to the next level of building profiles. We talked about mainway. This is way past mainway. And none of this is new. Okay? And that's the other thing people have to understand. This isn't just, it's, Google and NASA. No, it's Google, it's NASA, it's Lockheed Martin, it's Amazon with D-Wave. And it's been around for quite some time. All right? And if you look at their laboratory, their artificial intelligence laboratory, they'll tell you that there's just a three-way partnership. It gets way more beyond that between Google, NASA, the USRA, and D-Wave machines. Okay, and the USRA is a scientific laboratory. But here's the thing: they've been working forever, and it's not just Google and NASA. So let's get down into who it really is. Oh, wait, it's Amazon, it's Jeff Bezos, it's Goldman Sachs, it's In-Q-Tel. Okay? The investment firm with ties to the CIA. It's Lockheed Martin. They are the military industrial complex. They are the technopoly. They're the same ones censoring us. And they're working with the government on artificial intelligence. How can we stop this? And it's not new. Again, 2013, well, don't worry. There's another $20 million in funding in 2018. You can only imagine what the black budgets on these things are. And again, I want to point out, this is Bezos, man. These are the companies. Take a look. All right? Lockheed Martin, Google, NASA, Ames, the USRA, USC, Los Alamos, Oak Ridge, Temporal Defense Systems, with headquarters near Vancouver, Canada. See, this goes beyond the United States government, too. This is the global deal. There they are. Goldman Sachs, DFJ, Bezos Expeditions, In-Q-Tel, BDC Capital, GrowthWorks, 100 Degree Capital Corp. Do you see where I'm getting at? Kensington Partners Limited. All right? So this is a mechanism of control that's out there on behalf of the predator class. Now, when we get to the selling of a multiverse and multiple realities, and no longer even the idea of simulations, but that each and every single idea or possibility plays out in another universe up until a certain point, and there's just a small deviation in infinite times. And you think that that's just me pushing it. Well, I'm not pushing it, but I'm going to tell you somebody who has. And you guys got to go check this out because I've gotten copyright strikes on this before. But Geordie Rose, you should go check out Quantum Computing Artificial Intelligence is Here. Okay, because that's that's an older lecture, and it's probably almost from 8 or 9 years ago. But he talks about that multiverse. Okay, and then he's preparing people for synthetic minds, the merging of human beings and artificial intelligence. And, he's not a quantum physicist. He's an entrepreneur. He's somebody putting the right people together in that media military industrial complex. You don't hear as much about him as you do, say, Elon Musk, who's going to give you Neuralink. But this is the type of guy that continues to make that technology possible by bringing these entities together. So these are must-watches. Okay? And it's not just NASA and Google, it's Microsoft working on this. Okay? And they're all talking about this multiverse aspect. And here's the thing to me where it gets dangerous. All right? Number one, none of these companies can be trusted, right? NASA can't be trusted. It brings into question when somebody says, oh, well, we'll just regulate YouTube as a utility, or Google as a utility, or Twitter as a utility, or all these things as utilities, or Amazon which controls a vast flow of production and information on top as utilities. How? How do you do that? They're so deep in bed with the Lockheed Martins of the world, with the Goldman Sachses of the world. In what? In what? The future of control, the future of space even, right? No matter what you believe is going on there, etc. It's about a control grid. So we have to expose that. This goes beyond monopolies. And yes, with Google working with China on Dragonfly, etc., it goes well beyond just the United States. This goes into that new world order that has been growing and growing and growing and is now showing its fangs more and more. And all of these promises of artificial intelligence and living forever and really transhumanism, becoming whatever you want, are false ones, in my opinion. And maybe I'm wrong. But when you push this idea that the multiverse exists, does good and evil ever exist? Can religion exist? Can your soul exist? And when we're talking about energy fields outside of the earth that are interconnected, and that's where this all begins with that fifth state of matter, right? That quantum state. We don't know what that is, but I would imagine there's a possibility that's our energy, our life force. Okay? It probably goes way beyond that. But I don't know whether it's heaven or hell, but I believe in two things. Good and evil. They exist. And we have the ability to do great deals of both and be blinded by the power that each can bring and unfortunately be corrupted. And I just don't buy into this idea that the multiverse exists and everything I do has already kind of been set into a path. And I don't really have any free will, right? Can free will exist in a multiverse? Since in somewhere, I'm an awful dictator, right? And somewhere else, I'm a benevolent type character. Most human beings, no matter what, are going to be somewhere in the middle. So is that even a possibility? A lot of questions to ponder here, guys. But I would encourage people, for sure, just to get an idea of what's out there. Quantum, the fifth state of matter, observing space for the first time. And please start doing your homework on who's behind artificial intelligence and all of these types of quantum computing programs and come to the realization of where we really are. All right, so thumbs it up, subscribe, share. Remember, we do it all on donations at this point because there is no monetization on YouTube. $5, $10, $15, it means the world to me. Big donors, please. We're getting ready for that big trip. I want to thank everybody who has donated. We also use it as a super chat mechanism. So the next time we do an Ask Me Anything, which may actually be tonight. I might be doing an Ask Me Anything later this afternoon tonight. Get your questions in. We always go over those, and we do it live as well. Again, thumbs it up, subscribe, share if you're new to the Burmist Brigade. Make sure you are still subscribed, ringing that bell for notifications, and let's use this technology against them, right? We're streaming in 1080p to 138 people live right now, and thousands of people will see this broadcast, and we're able to use technology again to broadcast to other formats and share that with people as well. Remember, again, I am a documentary filmmaker. Invisible Empire, A New World Order to Find, and Shade the Motion Picture. So important right now. And if you want to know the truth about 9/11 and how these mechanisms use false flag terror and fear as just gasoline in the engine of globalization, Loose Change and Fabled Enemies are for you as well. Check me out over at Rockfin, where we do exclusive content, and free Tuesday at noon Eastern. We do an exclusive over there for free, so just sign up, follow. You don't have to be a premium member. If you do go premium and you endorse me, thank you very much. We really appreciate it. You get even more content, like the Meeting of the Minds, 2 parts, 2 hours, over 24 creators, including Ben Swan, James Corbett is in there, Luke Radowski, Josh Sigerson, Jeffrey Wilson, and so many others. OBDM in there. Really was a great time. I encourage everybody to check that out. Thank you, Ricky Verandas and the Ripple Effect podcast for putting that on. So if you want to check that out, you can. Guys, I love you, and I'll see you all on the flip side. Where are we? Oh, there we go. Later, guys.